Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, direct second year students, on your request, the corrosion topic we are going to discuss. So, one we can finish this part. So, tomorrow we can arrange the MCQs based on corrosion and the MCQs based on the flow of fluids. Is it okay? All of you?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hmm? So that we complete the whole syllabus then. So that's why we discuss the corrosion. Yeah, anybody wants to discuss the corrosion part?
May I?
Yes,
Okay. So, can I start?
yes, we can.
So, afternoon, everyone. So, today we are going to look over the corrosion chapter. So, basically, the corrosion is a process of reaction between the metallic surface and its environment. Rather, we can say it is the chemical reaction occurring between the metallic surface to its environment in which it is present. So, it is the oxidation process, right? It causes loss of metal, as the corrosion indicate that there will be deterioration, decrement in the ductility, malleability, or all other properties of metal surface, due to which there is the decrement in its uses. So it causes the loss of metal, hence disintegration of metal. Disintegration of metal by its surrounding chemicals through a chemical reaction on the surface of metal is known as corrosion. So, it is a chemical process or reaction occurring between the metallic surface or the environment, which is said to be the oxidation process, and due to the corrosion, we will lose the metal, right? So, please, next slide.
Yes.
So few examples are there: formation of rust on the surface of iron, formation of green film on the surface of copper. We can say on the green film on the surface of the silver also we can observe once we keep the silver in the open atmosphere, and the reaction occur. So in the size separation topic, I have told that there will be the formation of chromium layer over the metallic surface of the copper, due to which it changes its color. The responsible factor for corrosion of a metal: the environmental chemicals, temperature, and the design. So these are the factors which affect the corrosion of the metal. The environmental chemicals. So in the environment, just a minute. So in the environment, you will find the oxygen, moisture content. So by the reaction of the metal surface to those gaseous will lead to the corrosion. Example, rusting of iron and the film formation over the copper. So based on this, we are classifying the corrosion into drying and wet corrosion. We will see in the further slides. Yes, sir. Please next slide. So different theories of
But
corrosion based on
Malika,
the, yes, sir.
Malika, just check whether that part is there na in syllabus. Theories of corrosion is there na. It's not removed na.
No, so it is not been removed. The basic handling of
Yep.
the pharmaceuticals have been removed.
Okay. Okay.
Student 243, can you please mute yourself? Okay, thank you. So we have seen the corrosion occur due to the chemical reaction between the atmospheric moieties with the metallic surface. So once we go with the factors or the chemical moieties which actually responsible for corrosion, are classified as dry gaseous or moist aqueous phases like water vapor, steam. So they are classified under the wet corrosion. They are responsible for the wet corrosion. But once we take the dry gases like oxygen and else, we can classify those aspects under the dry corrosion. So let's see. Yes, sir. Please next slide.
The application part.
Yes, sir. So grossly telling about dry and wet corrosion, the dry corrosion, it is very uniform process of corrosion, right? And it take place, it is a slow process of corrosion, and vice versa points you will consider in case of wet corrosion, right? So applications of the corrosions, why to study the corrosions like dyes and punches. Free from rust and corrosion, chromium plated discs dyes are used which revolves pits and abrasion problems. So we can by studying the corrosion we can prevent the corrosion by adding the chromium plated dyes which will resolve or minimize the pits over the metallic surface. Pits are the small holes occurring over the metallic surface due to the corrosion and abrasion problems. So subsequent application is the milling equipment. Perfect fit is required for movable parts for effective size side reduction, right? Third point, chemical processing reactors. Different nature of solution come in contact with reactor surface leads to the corrosion. Fermenters made up of glass and stainless steel because during fermentation the release of trace metals from the equipment may have deleterious effect on the enzyme system. Possible corrosion aspects in fermenters are pits and services, which make it difficult to clean and remove the contamination. So side by side, the corrosion has the effect on cleaning of the equipment in which it is occurred. So here we are taking the fermenters, which is usually used for the anaerobic respiration for the production of alcohol from the glucose entity. So there if you find the enzymatic chemical reaction occurred, and due to which we will find the corrosive effect on the equipment. Okay, so that we can also use the stainless steel for the for the production of the equipment. So fifth point, storage containers. A long storage of reactive chemicals lead to the corrosion of containers, right? So it is very vital to study the nature of chemical before placing the particular chemical into a particular container, right? Yes, sir. Next slide. So factors influencing the corrosion. A solution of pH, oxidizing agent, temperature, velocity, constituents of reaction media and surface film. If you see the solution of the pH, the acidic, basic and neutral pH. Though so the corrosion basically occur more at the basic pH, right? The oxidizing agent is also vital for the processing of corrosion. If the oxidizing agents are been present, it accelerates the corrosion processes. Temperature, velocity at which the atmospheric contaminant hits the metallic surface, it will have the direct ratio for the corrosive action. Constituent of the reaction media, whether it is acid or alkali or it is reducing agent, based on that it may oxidize the anodic part or it reduce the cathodic part. So based on that we can classify the constituent of reaction media. Surface films. So if you place the silver and copper in the open atmosphere, it will lead to the chromium layer over it, which imparts the green color. So if we see the copper has the alloys of copper are having surface films over the thickening of the surface films are responsible for the corrosive action. If it is thick, the corrosion is slightly slower, and if it is thin, the rapid corrosion occur. Yes, sir. Next slide. So dry or chemical corrosion, it is subdivided into oxidation corrosion, corrosion by other gases, liquid metal corrosion. In the yes, we will see one by one in the further slide. Yes, sir. Next slide, sir. Oxidation corrosion reaction with the oxygen. Some of the metal directly react with oxygen in the absence of moisture. As it is dry, the oxidation corrosion is falling under the dry corrosion theory. That means there is the absolute absence of moisture. That's why here the first statement is reflecting us some of the metals has potency to react directly with the atmospheric oxygen. Alkali and alkaline earth metals react with oxygen at room temperature and form corresponding oxides, while some metals react with oxygen at higher temperature. So metals like silver, gold, platinum are not oxidized as they are noble metals, right? So next slide.
Is it visible?
No, sir. Still the oxidation corrosion is visible.
No check.
No, sir. Yes, it is now
It's
visible.
fine.
So if we see the chemical reactions of the alkali, you will find that there will be the redox reaction occurring in some of the metals. Rather, we can say only oxidation process occur in some of the alkali metals. Okay, during oxidation of a metal oxide is formed as a thin film on the metallic surface which protect the metal from the further corrosion. Okay, if diffusion of either oxygen or metal occur across this layer, further corrosion is possible. So during the corrosion, the metal oxides are formed as a thin film on the metallic surface which actually protect the metal surface from the corrosion. If the diffusion of either oxygen or metal occur across this layer, further corrosion is possible. So here the corrosive agent which is present in the surrounding should have the potency to cross this surface film of metal oxide of the metallic surface to have the corrosive action. Okay? Yes, sir. Next slide. So we have seen the corrosion occurred due to the oxygen, right? So now we are going to look over the other gases present in the atmosphere like chlorine, sulfur dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. These are the gases which is present in the smaller percentage in the atmosphere as compared to oxygen, right? So in the dry atmosphere, these gases react with the metal and form corrosion product which may be protective or non-protective. In petroleum industries at higher temperature, hydrogen sulfide attacks steel forming iron sulfide scale which is porous and interferes with the normal operation. So here if you see the reaction of metallic surface with the mentioned gaseous occur which will impart some protective layers or some non-protective layers. So there will be the resistance to further corrosion, or there will be the pit formation, services formation, or ultimately complete deterioration of the metal. Both the conditions have been observed. But if you see hydrogen sulfide gas in case of petroleum industries at higher temperatures, this gas is having potency to attack the steel, forming iron sulfide scales, which is porous and interferes with the normal operation. So if I tell you in simpler manner, the hydrogen sulfide at higher temperature has the potency to have chemical reaction with the steel. Once it has the chemical reaction with the steel, it forms the iron sulfide, which is having the porous effect on the metallic surface, which will ultimately alters the normal operations. Okay. Yes, next slide. So third sub corrosion of the dry corrosion theory is the liquid metal corrosion. Right, in several industries, molten metal passes through the metallic pipes and causes corrosion due to dissolution or due to internal penetration. So here the example is quoted that, just a minute. Yes, in the several, sorry for the extra for the noise interruption. So in the several industries, the molten metal passes through the metallic pipes and causes the corrosion. Here the liquid metal corrosion, the theory itself indicates that the compound is in the liquid format and it is passing through the metallic pipes made up of metal and lead to the corrosion due to the dissolution or due to the internal penetration. For example, liquid metal mercury dissolve most of metals by forming amalgams and thereby corroding them. So once the mercury react with the liquid substances, it will lead to the formation of further corrosive product, that is amalgams, and thereby the further corrosion take place. Right? Here the compound is present in the liquid format and thus it react with the metallic surface, the corrosion occurs. For example, mercury reacting with the metal leading to the formation of amalgams. Yes, sir, next slide. So wet corrosion theory. So it is also known as galvanic theory or electrochemical theory. Why we should give the synonym as galvanic and electrochemical reaction, we will see one by one by studying the following points. So first point about the theory says it is a common type of corrosion of a metal in aqueous corrosive environment. So once you understand the dry corrosion theory, it was taking much longer time for the corrosive action. That's why it is not commonly used. But in case of wet corrosive theory, it is rapid ongoing process, and that's why it is common type of corrosion you will find out in each and every metallic surface. And here the aqueous environment is present. So moist water, heat is been implemented as the corrosive agent for having the wet corrosion. So this type of corrosion occurs when the metal comes in contact with the conducting liquid. So please don't be confused in between the third subtype of dry corrosion and the wet corrosion theory. So there was the corrosive agent was the substance was present in the liquid state, but it was having the limited effect over the metallic surface in the dry place, right? But in the wet corrosion, the entire place corrosive agent are present in the aqueous environment and aqueous media, right? So according to this theory, there is the formation of galvanic cell on the surface of metals. So what is this galvanic cell? So once you observe that is the corrosion happening between the metallic surface and the aqueous corrosive agent, you will find out there is the occurrence of cathode and anode. So what are these cathode and anode? No doubt they are electrochemical cells. So these formation occur which eventually triggers the oxidation process at the anodic part, and reduction or the corrosive part of the reaction will deposit in part of cathode. That process is occur, and the entire, if you see the entire unit of the galvanic entire unit of anode and cathode, this entire unit is said to be the galvanic cell, where oxidation, that is corrosion, take place at anodic part, and the corrosive agent deposition or reduction part take place in the part of cathode, right? Some parts of metal surfaces act as anode and the rest act as cathode. Okay. Yes, sir. Next slide. The chemicals in the environment act as an electrolyte, right? They triggers the corrosion. Oxidation of anodic part take place and it result in the corrosion at anode, while reduction take place at cathode. So reduction, we know very well that gaining of electrons or loosening of electron, sorry, gaining of electron is reduction, and losing of proton or oxygen atom is said to be the reduction, right? So in terms of electronic intake and loosening, the reduction has been defined. So wet corrosion again subdivided into reaction on single metal, reaction between metal, and involvement of oxygen. Okay. And the chemicals in the environment act as an electrolyte. Okay. And the oxidation, that is corrosion part take place at anode, and reduction take place at cathode. Yes, sir. Next slide. So first part of the wet corrosion theory we will see, that is corrosive reaction on the single metal. It's a electrochemical reaction because there is the involvement of gaining and losing of electron. Thus it is the electrochemical reaction, are described by considering the corrosion on a piece of iron in hydrochloric acid. So here the reaction, that is electrochemical reaction, is occurring in between iron and hydrochloric acid. So please focus that the iron is a metal, no doubt, but the medium in which it is going to be placed for the corrosive action is hydrochloric acid. That means it is aqueous one. Thus it comes under the wet corrosion theory. Anodic and cathodic areas are formed on the metal surface after few hours reaction. At anode, that is oxidation take place with release of electron. Positively charged ions get detached from solid surface and enters into the electrolytic solution. So basic mechanism taking place here is that once you place the ion in the solution of HCl, there will be the oxidation towards, yeah, initially there will be the formation of anode and cathode. At the anode, corrosion take place by the release of electron. That means oxidation occur. And once the oxidation take place, the corrosive degrade will get accumulated in the cathodic part, and eventually there will be emission of the positively charged ions from the solid surface, and thus these positively charged ions will get uh, surrounded or get uh, present or get in the electrolytic solution which is surrounded by that piece of metal. Okay, so iron, after the oxidation, it lead to the ferrous, and by releasing two electron, that means oxidation occur. Yes, sir. Next slide. Okay. The released free electrons, that is negatively charged, are passes around the cathodic area. The reaction at cathode, that is reduction, take place with taking up negatively charged electrons. the free electrons are reached the cathode and reacted with some positively charged species such as hydrogen ion the in the electrolytic solution. So let me clear you that in the first slide we have seen that through the metallic surface, the positively charged ions are emitted out and they are present and they are going to form a bond in the electrolytic solution. That is true. But in the second slide, we have countered that the negatively charged ions are going to be present in the cathodic area. So these negatively charged ions are the electrons which are emitted out by the anode, that is at the anode the oxidation part is taking place, that means there is the release of what electron, and here the released electrons will get present in the cathodic area, and once they get present in the cathodic area the positively charged ions which is liberated from the surface of metal will get reacted with this free electron and thus forming a reaction as follows, right? And this reaction between the positively charged ion liberated from the surface of metal and the negatively charged electron emitted out from the oxidation process will have its reaction in the electrolytic solution itself, right? So reaction will be these two electron, this two electron will react with two hydrogen ion and lead to form the hydrogen gas evolution. The overall reaction, if we describe that the ferrous will react with two water entity lead to the ferric hydroxide and the evolution of hydrogen occur. The precipitate of ferric hydroxide will be the ferric dihydroxide will be the red brown, right? Yes, sir. Next slide. So corrosion in the first beat we have seen that corrosion occurring over the single metal. Now we are comparing the corrosive reaction between the metals. It may be two. So the corrosion result from the flow of current from a more active metal anode to the less active metal cathode. So in the heat transfer we have seen that there will be the always flow of current, electron and heat from more active metal to the less active metal, right? So here the more active metal is considered as the anode, as here the oxidation process occur, that is corrosion, to the less active metal, that is cathode. For example, zinc dissolved in the given electrolyte solution and form anode with copper forms the cathode. So once you find that zinc and copper, once they have reacted, both are metals, where the zinc dissolved in the given electrolytic solution and from anode. So zinc undergo the oxidation at the anode part and copper undergo the reduction to form the cathode. Okay? Yes, sir. Next slide. So here in the diagrammatic way it had been displayed. So if you find the negatively charged electrode is considered to be the anode where actual oxidation occur, and we have seen that the zinc undergo oxidation at the anodic part, and once the electron is emitted out from the zinc surface, it is transferred to the cathode which is positively charged where the reduction take place, and here the copper undergo reduction by taking up this free electron from the zinc and undergoing the reduction. The electrolytic solution in which this anode and cathode is constructed is the HCl, hydrochloric acid. Yes, sir. Next slide. Here, two electrodes of metals such as zinc and copper are dipped into the electrolytic solution, and two electrodes are connected through an externally with wire. Reaction occurs spontaneously because of more active anode, and the reaction at anode is oxidation, where under to which zinc undergo oxidation by emitting out two electron, right? While the reaction at cathode is the reduction one, which is less active, and this reduction process usually occur between what? The electrons emitted out by the zinc and the positively charged ion. This will react to form the hydrogen gas, and there is the evolution of hydrogen gas. Okay? Yes, sir. Next slide. So last bit coming under the wet corrosion is the corrosion involving oxygen. Oxygen dissolved in an electrolyte can react with accumulated hydrogen to form water entity. Decreasing the concentration of hydrogen allow corrosion reaction. So here is the involvement of oxygen. So once you will find the deposition of hydrogen over the cathode, the oxygen from the electrolytic solution will form bond with the hydrogen and lead to the formation of water molecule, which will which will actually retard the corrosion, right? So by decreasing the concentration of hydrogen, which by decreasing the concentration of hydrogen, we will accelerate the corrosion reaction. So once the oxygen will form the bond with the excessive or accumulated hydrogen over the cathode, it will lead to the formation of water entity. Okay? Yes. Okay, here the types of corrosions have been placed. So here 8 types of corrosions are been displayed, but I have found the 3 major classes of the corrosion. Right, first is the general type of corrosion. Second one is the localized corrosion, and third one is the structural corrosion. If you see this uniform corrosion in the dry corrosion, you will observe this uniform corrosion. Okay, so pitting corrosion. So this pitting corrosion, it is the corrosion where you will find the small holes or cavity formed over the metal. It is localized one. Galvanization can retard the pitting corrosion. If I tell the example over it, the alloy of aluminium, stainless steel in presence of aqueous solution of hydrochloric acid will form the cavity over it. Okay, in the pitting corrosion, you will find the small pits over the metallic surface once you keep the metal in the high electronegative electrolytic solution. So third one is the intergranular or intercrystalline corrosion, which again falling under the localized one. Here usually the corrosion happens over the boundaries of the metal, right? It is not deep type of corrosion, you can say. It occurs on the periphery of the metallic surface, or rather we can say the metal it doesn't disturbs the electronic configuration of the metal. It just act periphery to the metal, right? So it is named as the intergranular or intercrystalline corrosion. So second one is the stress corrosion. When this stress corrosion usually occur when tensile stress is more greater than the yield stress. For example, um, for example, when we keep the brass metal in the ammonia solution, there will be the cracking of the brass due to the stress corrosion, because the ammonia is the basic electrolytic solution. It will have the small, no, not small, it have the small cracks over the brass due to the more stress over the brass. And here you can say that tensile stress is greater than the yield stress, which lead to the stress corrosion. So fifth one is this revised corrosion. So here it is similar somewhat to the pitting corrosion, where because here too the small pits are observed over the surface. And in this revised corrosion you will find that there is no presence of electrolytic solution, but there is the presence of macro environment. The microbes are responsible for the corrosion. So if I talk about the galvanic corrosion, we have talked more on this, that it is electrochemical corrosion, it falling under wet corrosion. Aqueous media is used, which is responsible for further corrosions. We have seen its subtypes too. And the last and not least is the erosion, which is the destruction of metal occur due to the combination of abrasive corrosive agent and the metallic surface lead to the erosion. Okay.
So these are the types. Tomorrow we can discuss each and every types of that corrosion. Okay. Direct second year students, when is your second sessional will be there? Have you seen the timetable?
Yes, sir.
At what date? At what date?
26 and 27.
26 and 27. Okay. And what about the sessional practicals? Have you checked the dates?
Yes, 22 and 23.
Yes, it's on 22 and 23. Okay. So already you know the pattern. The exam will be conducted online. The Viva will be there for the practical. So in the group of 10, we are conducting the Viva. So be ready for that. The synopsis will be there, and then you have to face the